Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back. Matt here with a forecast for you guys. We're going to run over some brief things for today. We're going to talk about what's going to be happening here next week. We could have more severe weather on the way next week for everybody in the Ohio Valley and potentially into the central and northern Midwest. And we're also going to talk about kind of what happened yesterday here with why our severe weather didn't unfold the way it should have unfolded. And then also on Monday as well. So there's a lot of things that kept the severe weather basically from happening. We're going to run over that here in just a second. But we do actually have two marginal areas here of severe weather, and we do have one over here centered over central Texas. This is a level 1 risk of severe weather. This is going to be for some small hail today and possibly some gusty wind gusts, maybe up to 55, 60 miles an hour. This is going to be for Fort Worth area. This is also going to be for the Breckenridge, Graham, Eastland, Texas, down here to Austin, New Braunfels as well, Killeen, Temple, basically South Central and Central Texas in this risk zone for today. So we'll time out the radar here for you guys as well. Nothing going on right now. But over the next couple of hours, we'll have some daytime thunderstorms that'll basically develop. And, with that down here towards, like I said, the Austin area here, actually within the next 45 minutes to an hour as I'm recording this video, the storms should be starting to break out down here into the Austin, Texas area. And then as we go forward today, let's get this pulled up here for you guys. Sorry, my radar is being a little bit wonky here. As we go throughout the daytime here and into the overnight hours, those storms should push off no later than 8 to 9 p.m. So it's really like a 3 to 4 hour window here. Possibly some spotty showers near the Fort Worth area. Probably not looking at a lot. Maybe going to be more storms down here towards Waco, Killeen, Temple, Austin. So could see some small hail and some damaging winds up there. We do have a bigger area of marginal risk of severe weather today for the southeast areas, and this is going to include north central Florida up here to southeastern Georgia into southern South Carolina and a little bit of eastern North Carolina, southeast North Carolina I should say, and this will go from Fayetteville, North Carolina down here to Charleston, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area down here to Savannah, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, into north of Tampa, Spring Hill area as well, Gainesville area as well here guys, Daytona Beach too. This is also going to be for a damaging wind threat of about 55 to 60 miles an hour. Could see some small hail. I do think, even though there's not a tornado risk here, anytime you have storms kind of going out of the southwest against the beaches here, you can get spin-up tornadoes. So I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado in any of this area here since we're kind of dealing with the beaches. We got a lot of wind direction change with height going on here. So there is that possibility that there could be a small spin-up tornado, but highly unlikely in this favorable environment today. Like I said, as we record this video right now, we do have ongoing storms up into North Carolina and South Carolina, some spotty showers, nothing severe as of right now. But as we go throughout the next couple of hours into the overnight hours here, robust moisture is going to move out of the southwest here into Florida. Could see some isolated showers here, some stronger storms here on the western side of the panhandle of, or peninsula of Florida here. And then we move these storms into the overnight hours up into South Carolina, into Georgia. This is around 8 p.m. here tonight here the next couple of hours. Some more robust heavy rainfall possibly here in South Carolina around midnight tonight. Up here into Virginia, up into the Northeast. So this is the rest of our storm system from Monday that came across the country and is finally exiting the coast here. So we should see some heavy rainfall possibly for the beaches here. So if you live in eastern North Carolina, South Carolina, down here to Georgia and Florida, be heads up for some flash flooding possibly with ponding on the roads. I know the beach areas here do flood very substantially and quickly. Rainfall all the way up into New York, up here into the New Hampshire, Maine area. I believe we're actually going to have some snowfall up here. We'll talk about that here in just a minute as well. But as far as the severe weather goes, really on the limited side today, could see more of a flash flooding threat, I think, than what we are looking at as of right now. But we'll keep you guys tuned in on that. We will break in and do live stream coverage if there is any tornado warnings that do happen today. So you guys will have that information. But this should be out of here by sunrise tomorrow morning, scooting off the East Coast. Just a quick little afternoon overnight storm system moving through here. And as far as the total precip, basically, what are we looking at rainfall-wise? We could see a couple inches of rain down here into the southern part of Florida. This is actually the northern part of Florida here near Tallahassee, Valdosta, Georgia as well. Jacksonville could see a couple 1 to 3 inches of rain here. Moving up the coastline here as well. Georgia 1 to 3 into South and North Carolina. There could be some heavier 1 to 3, 3 to 5 inches here from Fayetteville over to Florence, South Carolina, possibly up there as well. And then in getting into, the further up northeast you go, basically, the more or less heavy rainfall that there could potentially be with that off the coastline there. So that's all the weather that we have going on right now. It's supposed to stay momentarily or pretty much quiet for a couple of days, and then we're going to talk about what's going to happen this weekend here in just a second as well. And I'll go ahead and switch over to this so that way you guys can see the next video, or next video, but the next portion of the video here. If you go and we look at SPC, this is the Storm Prediction Center's forecast here, and we do only have that marginal risk of severe weather, but as we go into the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time frame of this weekend and into next week, there is going to be a possibility of another severe, and we can actually have a couple days of severe weather starting next potentially Saturday, or this coming Saturday here, into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It really looks to be right now that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are going to have the better chances of some severe weather, and we're going to run over that here on the models in just a second, but I want to go ahead and give everybody a heads up with that. We'll be doing video updates daily talking about this. Potentially I could have severe weather in my backyard. I might be going storm chasing for this if the conditions do decide to develop here in the Kentucky area. But we'll be watching for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next week, possibly. The National Weather Service has put in the in their description here. You guys can actually go look at that at SPC.com. It's all in there at the bottom of their long paragraph readings. They are very, very long paragraphs, so they do typically take time to read, but you can definitely figure that they are talking about having an issue risk zone for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. And Tuesday and Monday and Tuesday could actually be a little bit of a more of a mediocre chance of severe weather if conditions do come together for this. Another thing, I don't show this too often as well here, but this is out of the National Weather Service. They have learning models. We have the CIPS model. We have also the CSU model from Colorado State. This kind of just shows what they're thinking as far as severe weather goes. This isn't actually what we're seeing from the Storm Prediction Center, but this is actually pretty well this year. They've done a pretty good job at actually going along the lines with some of these models. So this is just showing us where we think we could see some risk zones potentially at. And if we go to day 5 here, which is going to be, I believe, on Saturday, or Sunday here, there's a potential for some severe weather in the Central Plains here into the Midwest, maybe in the Ohio Valley as well. And then we get to Sunday and Monday, or Monday here, there's possibly a chance for a bigger severe weather event here in the Ohio Valley down into the Tennessee Valley and Mississippi Valley area. And then on Tuesday, we could have an even smaller but mediocre chance of severe weather in the Southeast, from, let's say, Virginia down into potentially the Southeast Gulf of Mexico states. So we got a lot to kind of diagnose as we get into next week and talk about next week's storm system. But I do think that there is going to be a little bit more of a chance of this storm system actually producing. And if we go back and we look at what just happened on Sunday, Monday, and yesterday with the severe weather, we were live on TikTok all day long on Monday covering a bust situational setup. And what we saw on our storm setup for Sunday, why we didn't get any tornadoes really. We had a couple warnings. It was a couple, we had 3 tornado warnings, I believe, in the Mississippi area on Monday night, and they did produce, one of them did produce I'm pretty sure an EF1 tornado is what I saw. Still waiting to see the whole forecast, or the service, the National Weather Service, go out there and look at that. But as far as that went, we had everything that we needed for severe weather. We did lack moisture in the mid-levels, and we lacked high lapse rates. And what that does is basically help develop storms from the surface up. And when you don't have that development going on, it can just keep these storms in the surface levels, and they kind of just fizzle out and fall apart. But eventually we did get a line that came through, really went sub-severe for most of the time, but that was a good thing. This setup on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday this past week could have been a whole different situation if it would have gone the other direction. We could have been talking about violent tornadoes actually happening. I'm glad they didn't happen. That's why it's called a conditional risk. So when we talk about conditional tornado risk, that's what we talk about, that boom or bust kind of setup with that. So we were on live, ready to go just in case it happened. It did not, which was great. But like I said, let's go ahead and dive into next week and talk about this week too. Here's our dip in the jet stream active right now. This is the 300 millibar wind height here. This kind of controls our highs, our lows. This is what we look at when we look for severe weather and other bigger storm systems. But here's our dip in the jet stream. We've got a low up here over the northern plains area here that's just bringing in some showers and some thunderstorms up there. Nothing too crazy going on. A little bit of snow up here in the northeast possibly. I believe tonight. We'll look at that here again in just a second. And then the southwesterly flow bringing in moisture for some storms this afternoon into the Gulf states, or not Gulf states, but into the southeast along the east coast there. As we go throughout the week, this should move off. This should be out of here by Friday. That jet stream taking a negatively tilt as it moves off the coast. So that's a good thing. It's not negatively tilted here, because if that was, we would have severe weather, but it's not. We actually deal with a pretty quiet pattern through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here in the Ohio Valley and Central Plains. We're going to be actually warming it up, the atmosphere, tremendously. Forecasted highs for a lot of people next week are in the upper 70s, pushing 80s, pushing upper 80s down in the Texas and Oklahoma area as well next week. So that's going to help fuel the atmosphere for next weekend into the following week's storm system. I keep saying next weekend, it's this coming weekend. But as we get into the Saturday time frame, this is what we have to talk about. We've got a low, we've got a positively tilted trough here that's going to be coming off of the west coast. We're going to be watching this to feed in a southwesterly flow and a pretty strong southwesterly flow as this advances here on Sunday. We could be looking at a pretty nasty storm system here, possibly. We've got the one right here, and then we've got one up here into Canada. This should be sliding off the east as well. Not really doing much of anything, but what this is going to do, and when you have these troughs that dig in like this, you get instability, you get dew points, you get humidity, you get all of your stuff you need for severe weather to come with that. And as we get into that Sunday time frame, I really think that we're going to have a decent shot at some severe weather possibly here for the Midwest area. Not really knowing the areas quite yet that we're going to see that out until those risk zones are put out. But at this point, I'm just kind of showing y'all the general forecast here. Very, very strong southwesterly flow to help pull in those dew points and instability. There is a problem, though, as always here on Saturday and Sunday. If we were to get some type of severe weather threat on Saturday and Sunday this coming weekend, there is a capping inversion. We are going to have the temperatures being up there. We're going to have to break the lid in the atmosphere, as they so-called say, to get severe storms to fire off. And there is the chance that that happens. We'll talk more about that as these forecasts update. But I think if we're going to get severe weather, it's going to be more on that Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, and into the night, and then to Monday and Tuesday timeframe here in the Ohio Valley. And this is our jet stream out of the southwest here. Pretty ample trough, and you can actually see the low over here. This is going to help bring in the storm threat for the Illinois, Indiana, maybe Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia, and then down in the southeast as well on Tuesday. So we've got a pretty big area to watch here as that trough digs in next week. And then past that point, you know, we can talk about April all day long, but it looks to me like even after this, we're going to have a couple more storm systems that could kind of dig down here, and we could get another southwesterly flow that kind of sets up typically like we would see for a La Nina pattern here. But as we go, let's go ahead and pop this up on radar so you guys can see this on the European run, because I don't want to spend too much time talking about this because we still don't know a lot about it. But as we go off the Thursday here, our storm system on the East Coast finally moves. We're pretty quiet on Thursday and Friday. Once again, into Saturday, that low develops there on Saturday off the West Coast. You can see it swirling in here into the United States, and then by Sunday night into Monday, there is that potential, I think, like I said, on Sunday, we are going to have instability present here in this area for some severe storms, but you really look at it once again and you don't see storms. Low off here to the west, instability will be plummeting in here, but there's no storms because there's a capping inversion. And so if there is any type of risk on Sunday into Sunday night and early Monday morning, there would have to be that capping inversion break. It's more and more likely that Monday we're going to see some type of severe storm setup potentially here into, once again, Oklahoma. That low really gets going there. Into the Central Plains, we'll be watching this area here in the Midwest and into the Western Ohio Valley for severe weather into Monday night and into early Tuesday morning. And then this pushes off the east to the east here, and we get a cold front that'll set up, and we could see some more showers and some severe storms possibly on Tuesday night into Wednesday along the southeast coastline. So this forecast is still very, very tricky to figure out, guys. I just want to give you guys an update on what we're looking at with that. Potentially down the road this coming weekend into next week, and then we could have another storm system past that. So as of right now, things still look to be pretty active as we go throughout or get ready to start the month of April out. I know a lot of people want to know what their solar eclipse forecasts are going to be, and we're not quite there yet where we can kind of pinpoint what we're looking at. We're pretty close. It looks to be right now that there is going to be a chance of some storms or a storm system that could develop in this vicinity potentially for that, and I hate to say that, but it's just something we have to look at as of right now. And if we go and we look at one more thing here, right? Let's talk about the instability, what you need for thunderstorms to form, go severe, what you really, really need. And we lack that, like I said, on Sunday and Monday with our severe weather threat, and that's why these storms did not produce to what they were supposed to produce. As we go into Saturday and Sunday here, you can see ample instability sitting down over the Oklahoma area, Texas area down there. But like I said, that capping inversion really going to help keep those storms from developing. And then we get into that Monday time frame, and I think Monday is when these storms really start to fire off here, looking, like I said, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, maybe into Missouri here, into Indiana as well. We'll be watching for day 2 there on Monday night into Tuesday. Like I said, if there is a good setup for this, I might go chase it. We'll just kind of see what happens, but instability really gets going there into Kentucky, like I said, here in our backyard on Tuesday. So we'll be watching multiple days next week for severe weather, and I was wrong about the snow, guys, as well. There's not any snow in the Northeast. It's just rain. I don't know why I thought there was snow. So we'll make sure we got that covered for you guys as well. And as far as the temperatures go as well, Watching our temperature trends here, they are going to stay pretty above average. We're going to start to see those spring-like temperatures really set in. If you come down here and you look at the southwestern part of Texas next week, we've got temperatures already pushing 100 degrees. And so this is what we call I like to call it a baking pot. This basically just sets the stage for any type of storm systems that kind of travel along the west to east coast region here. We get that instability already set in place. We get those dew points that get dragged in with these storms. And, you know, April and May, guys, we've got to be on our guard. Severe weather is going to be a more than likely thing a lot here as we go throughout the spring and summer, early summer months to get going. So I want people to understand we are not done talking about severe weather, and it's going to continue to be a problem until we really get into summer, and really even past that. I think we're going to have to deal with hurricanes. We're going to have more stuff, so we are in that time frame. One more thing as well, we forgot to look at this too, the dew points here. This is what you need really to support any type of storm threat, severe weather. And we can see our dew points where they're placed out on Sunday. They're down in Texas and Oklahoma. They start to be more widespread. If we are dealing something with like this, if we're waking up, I'm not waking up, if we're on Monday afternoon around 18Z, this is 3 p.m. Monday afternoon. This is a forecast, or no, this is a model run, not a forecast. But if we've got dew points that are sitting in the mid to upper 60s here, this is going to be interesting, I think, next week. I think we're going to have a pretty decent severe weather risk in the Ohio Valley, Southeast, and Ozark area, and East Central Plains area if this is what these models are showing. So we're really going to have to pay attention to this forecast, because high dew points, mid to high dew points, can lead to pretty big severe weather events. And that's not what I'm saying at all, but I'm just saying that it looks to be, but this system this week has a little bit better of a chance of actually happening than what this past week did. So we're going to really, really watch this for you guys next week. Like I said, we'll be continuing to do updates, and then that storm system pushes out, and then we could see another one come in for the second week of April. But that's what I've got for you guys. We're going to post another video tomorrow. I'm going to go upload on TikTok as well for you guys to watch on there. Another thing, if I can ask you guys to do me a huge favor here, if you will go to the Mesomat WX website. This is my official website. My girlfriend took a lot of time, once again, to make this for you guys. If you guys do want to buy any merch, you feel free to. There are hats, t-shirts, hoodies, cell phone cases, stickers, bumper stickers. We're going to continue to add more stuff on here as well. If you guys do want to buy anything, it's very, very much appreciated. All donations as well. There is a donation link if anybody wants to donate. You guys can on there as well. Another thing, we need mods for these streams. If you guys want to be a moderator for our streams here, there is a link up here in the top right corner. It says mod application of the website. You fill all this out. We'll message you back pretty much quickly ASAP. We're checking these a lot here lately. We'll get an interview set up with you guys, and then we will see how that goes from there. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and I will talk to everybody tomorrow.